All right, half day everyone. I am joined with Sergeant Adrian Mendiola with CNMI DPS Highway Patrol. He's the Traffic Investigations Supervisor, and we're here for a ride along. Thanks for having us, Sergeant. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us in this ride along.
And I wanted to chat with you because at the last press conference with Commissioner Marianas, he was saying with some of the newly paved roads, you guys are catching people speeding up to 70 miles an hour on these roads.
Yes. Unfortunately, with this new paved road, we've been getting calls in from the public. We have those responsible operators that are doing their job and calling in some vehicles that are speeding, and mainly we've been seeing it on Beach Road. I just want to throw out to give a little bit perspective of what we're dealing with as far as traffic is. We have roughly around 23,000 registered vehicles, and roughly around 16,000 licensed drivers. We're a population of 49,000, close to 50,000. And there are three main roads here in the CNMI that the traveling public use. That will be Beach Road, Middle Road, and Back Road. So a lot of our main focuses have been on these three roads. The speed has always been an issue. It's one of our highest violations yearly. We see speed as a factor. A lot of accidents that involve speed usually end up in serious injuries or fatalities. Through many years, speed has always been a factor in fatalities. So, is it a priority for us? Yes, it is. And we don't get, we go out there, we do enforcement every day. We address these issues every day, and we just want to keep the public safe. Recently, you've been seeing us out there pulling over people, doing speed enforcement. Part of the reason for that is that we're trying to gear the public into getting into good driving behavior. This is us being proactive. We know that the holidays are coming. We know that there's going to be alcohol involved, and if we can address this issue way beforehand and get the public into a good driving habit, we're hoping and we're praying that it'll bring down the fatality rate or the injury rate as far as crashes.
And the top speed in the CNMI is 45, right?
Yes, legally.
There's no legal speed limit beyond that.
Yeah, so it's 45 that you're allowed to travel at. Anything above that will be considered speeding.
Uh-huh.
We get a lot of operators that give us they ask us a question. Oh, I thought we were allowed 10 miles per hour above the 45.
There's no grace period.
There's no grace grace period or grace speed, what we call it, when it comes to pulling over vehicles that are traveling over that.
Uh-huh.
Another thing to kind of throw out to give you a perspective of what you're dealing with when it comes to speed. Your body mass times the speed that you're going is how much force that you absorb when you get into an impact. So the faster you go, the more force is put on your body whenever you impact something or a vehicle. So that's one of our main things that we look at as far as crashes and the effects of crashes when involving speed. So San Pauliano, we have a lot of intersections, a lot of vehicles turning in, turning out, and what we like to, in the law, it's for every 10 miles per hour, it's 8 feet back from the vehicle in front of you. At least count by the count length. So if you're going 30 miles per hour, keep at least 3 car lengths behind.
Right.
Just as a rule of thumb.
That's also to account for reaction time, right? If anyone makes abrupt stops or things like that.
Yes. So it takes 1.6 seconds for your brain to react to any obstruction on the road. So this is a mathematical constant that we use in investigation. Any operator that sees an obstruction applies brakes from the moment he sees it, and the moment he takes action, whether it be swerve to avoid, apply brakes, or impact, the brain takes 1.6 seconds to react. So that in itself is enough to tell you that the faster you go, the quicker you need to be, and the less reaction time you have. So together with speed, it's good to keep distance. And if you're traveling 45 miles per hour, you will be able to come to a safe stop whenever there's an obstruction or anything in front of you that may cause an accident.
And what are you seeing as the peak kind of traffic times here in the CNMI right now, with school in session, everyone going to work?
Yeah, with the school in session, it's usually from 7 o'clock to 8:30, which is our morning rush hour, and then from 11 to 1 is our afternoon rush hour, or midday rush hour. Afternoon would be from 3 to 5, which is the main rush hour after work. So it's these 3 times that we really try to make our way out there and show deterrence and do some enforcement. Each year for 2024, we're looking at 910 crashes. On average, that's about 70.
Every year?
That's average. For 2024, it was 910 that we recorded. If you crunch the numbers, that's roughly around 75 crashes a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So for an island,
Here on Saipan?
Here on Saipan. And that ranges anywhere from fender benders to minor and serious injuries. So it's pretty safe to say that those numbers are alarming. And fortunately, we don't have as much traffic. When the economy and the tourism was up, that was almost double the number. But with the traffic flow decrease as a result of the tourism, it kind of gives us the opportunity to iron out some issues on the roadway as far as speed and seat belts and other traffic violations that we're seeing more often.
And aside from the newly paved beach road, are there other hotspots that you're seeing? But it's pretty much just in those newly paved roads, right?
Newly paved roads, as you know, you always see us on Astrolai Hill, which is one of the areas that we pick up a lot of vehicles speeding. Puerto Rico is one of them. So pretty much it's those open straight roads that we're seeing these numbers increase. So we take the time, and a lot of our enforcement is statistically driven. So we would take our stats throughout the month and use it to our advantage and see whether, if we're having crashes on a certain road, maybe we need to pay more attention on that road and see what's going on. Part of our job as investigators is to take these factors into the crashes and kind of evaluate what we need to do as far as enforcement. We have programs that is funding us to address these issues: DUI, speed, seatbelt, and all of these programs are driven by numbers. Throughout the year, we see that a certain time of the year the speed that has increased, certain time of the year that we're seeing seatbelt violations, certain time of the year that we see DUI violations. So it's all crunched down. We take those numbers nationwide. All the states submit these numbers in, and they come up with a campaign, which is why we have speed campaign, seatbelt campaigns, and DUI campaigns for the holidays. So we take these numbers, we take the money that is allotted to us, and we use that money for public outreach, enforcement, and public education. So it is going to good use, and we're using raw data. Again, it's nothing that we're hiding. It's what shows out on the road, what the public is doing, and we're addressing it as it comes. As you know, Beach Road, we're about to travel down on Beach Road. This is one of the new issues that we're facing. You see the road is smooth, clear, straight. One thing that we have to keep in mind, which is why we're really out here doing enforcement on this side of the road, is you look to the right, you have trees. There's no barrier that's stopping you from hitting these trees. And when you impact these trees, you absorb that impact. And if you look closely, the roots come out at an angle. And we've already had a couple of vehicles that have flipped.
And even one I remember going into the water, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have vehicles that have flipped because these trees act as a ramp to flip these vehicles. And it doesn't take much speed for you to flip a vehicle out here on a beach road. And to add on to that, we're seeing more pedestrian activity because of the transit stops that is now happening on Beach Road. So there's more pedestrians out here on the roads, which is even more reason for us to address this issue on Beach Road. As you can see, the walkway is right next to the road, and it was alarming enough for us to say we need to come out here and conduct more speed enforcement along Beach Road. We've worked as well with Quota, and with Quota, the buses stop here alongside the road, and again, distance and speed is a factor. If I'm not mistaken, they have close to around 80 stops on beach or along this road or overall. So,
and that's just Coda.
That's just Coda going
right?
one way and coming the other way, and then I think they also extend all the way to NMC. The bus is right there.
Speaking of Coda.
Yeah. So we're working hand in hand with the other departments in being proactive, really.
And shout out to this car in front of us, probably following the speed limit. It sees your car. We've all been in that situation.
Being responsible.
Right.
A lot of times it takes us being out there and showing presence to kind of give the public some deterrence.
Right. And we're seeing that right now. There's some
so the guys
some
are
of your
here.
traffic cops over there.
Yep.
And did they just pull someone over?
Yeah, they just did. Yeah, we're gonna pull it to here.
And there's a warning, right?
Yep. Slow traffic, keep right, and there's speed limits here. So.
And down here is 35 miles an hour.
35
right?
miles per hour.
Yeah.
But even with the 35 miles per hour, that's another violation, is to failure to obey posted speed limits or posted signs. But we really, anybody going above 45 or even reaching close to 50 is where we kind of draw the line. That in itself is enough for we're 14 square miles, and I can safely say that you can get where you need to go within 15 minutes.
Right.
Don't race for that, for clocking in late for a meeting, rushing. We get all the different excuses. Needs to use the bathroom. Again, it's really nothing that is worth risking your life and other people's life, because we have to take into account that it's not just you, it's other people that are going to be harmed whenever accident happens, and it's involving speeds, which really is for us is one of the hardest ones to respond to, is when we see injuries, we see children involved, families. It's hard to take in, and which pushes us even more. We don't get an increase in salary for giving tickets. We're just out here doing our job. So that's one of the main things.
I know one of the reminders too is since we've seen some of the cases of pedestrians being struck crossing the road, is especially when you know where the crosswalks are, just slow down even a little bit more than usual, right?
Yes, we spoke on that last press conference about pedestrian, and again, Beach Road all the way to Garpan. Garpan is where we're seeing a lot of this happen. And we've said it before, if there is no crosswalk present, look for a well-lighted intersection to cross. Instinctively, when these operators come across an intersection, they take that extra look, because they know you drive down these roads every day. You take that extra look to that intersection to see if a car's coming out. With that being said, being at an intersection and crossing the intersection will be the safest way to cross without any crosswalk present. And don't wait for just one car. Wait for all the cars to stop. That's one issue. That's one factor as well. These cars are pretty high. You disappear between the cars whenever you're walking. So to be safe, wait till all the cars stop, then continue your trek across the roadway.
All right, Sergeant Mendiola, thanks for having me ride along
Thank
and
you.
educate the public.
Thank you.
It's a reminder we all can use. I forget myself sometimes as well, but it
Yep.
can save lives, like you said. So
Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you guys for taking the time and helping us out with getting the word out.